Okay, ndi funso. Muona ngati kumalawi kunogo kuli ma businesses angati. Like small businesses, big businesses, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands. Muona ngati kuli ma organizations angati, kama NGOs ang'ono, ma NGOs akulu, ma community-based NGOs ndi zina zotero. So many. Now, ndi angati mwa NGOs amenewo, ndi ma businesses amenewo, amene ali ndi ma websites. Amene ndi ma websites abo, okay? My websites, they were designed nicely, with a modern design, information ilibunobino. If you go there, you can actually appreciate good information. They are interactive. Okay, for example, email, you can send through their website, or you can comment, you can do all those kinds of things, or they are responsive. Grappa phone, grappa computers, animations, videos, out of my businesses, also out of my organizations, also meeting now. You realize, even if you think about government, like right now, if you go to my government departments, my website now, you'll probably laugh. I'm sorry, I know people design those websites, but come on, guys. So many government departments, my website now, they're outdated. They're using my technology, my designs, so I'm starting with this because I want to show you, Guti, the opportunity. There's so much opportunity when it comes to web design. Okay, so before we continue with the video, ngati mukufuna ma computers, ngati mukufuna fairly used computers, mukufuna ma phone brand new, original, ma phone both, then please contact. I have a shop called Educate Store. We sell the lowest prices you can ever find in Malawi on phones, on laptops. My phone brand new, and then my laptop fairly used, but really good ones. We give you warranty. Please contact my sales team. They'll help you. They'll hook you up with a really good laptop. We have so many different good laptops from cheaper ones to really performant ones. So just you'll find the phone number on the screen, and you'll find it in the description. Talk to us. Let's get a laptop, get a gadget. Tikamaka zama web designer ndi anthu amene amapangano. They'll put together my files, okay? I mean, when you go to a website, now you're looking at those files, okay? So we call those, basically the collection of those files, we call that a website. First, web design, they're thinking about coding. Now, of course, you need to know a bit of code. I know coding. I can code websites. I've coded websites from scratch, but anyone can learn web design because you don't necessarily need to know how to code for you to design a website. The stuff your fans imazona kuti imata kupanga design my website kama coding. They will talk a lot. They will talk a lot of rubbish in the comments probably. But I can tell you, Kuti, you can be a very successful web designer in a very short period of time by not worrying about code as much, okay? Of course, you still need to learn a little code. Gomano, mutawanga design my websites, kuimaliza osalemba code ina yose. And kupanga zimene zokuphunzira kuti upange ma websites moteromo, ndizophweka kwambiri as compared kuti muyambe kuphunzira HTML, CSS, ndi zina zotero. Now, some of the stuff zimene ndikamba is a bit technical, don't worry about it. Tindi workshop coming up today. Design my websites. It's not the only workshop. Dikhala ndikupanga ma workshop ambiri osiyana kuza ndi web design izinto zina zosiyana zimene takhala tikuzana kuti dikhala tikupanga covers okuza ndi digital. But let's go back so we can talk about web design and how you can make money being a web designer. So, in terms of how much would you charge for web design? Like, what's the opportunity here? Fans ambiri mene kungoyamba kumene kupanga design my websites. Imata kupanga mina a minimum of 20,000. That's the amount of money menda kandu kupanga charge maybe 10 years ago kupanga design my websites. But it can be more than that. All right, but Obandima charge not less than $1 million to design a website. And it's not about matama or something. It's just about the amount of value you put in the web design. And that's what differentiates between fans yoti angoesera, the fans yoti they have so much experience and they know what they're doing. Okay, so Komano, you don't just know what you're doing from get-go. You're going to start pansi ndukumagwera mpaka nafika pa level you realize ukuthi I think 10 years ago sitting kazi wazimene mabanga pano pano nde I think ndamba kuzitsata ngini sibobo. Okay, so you're talking about a minimum of 200,000 maybe. It can go up. So and when Amabanga my websites 500,000, maybe a million, 5 million, and Habanga my website emoji 10 million. It depends on how big the website is and the value you are putting there in terms of the knowledge yako, skill yako, and website yo imabanga zotan. So the industry and Amazon and muntu wakatu with web design, you're not only just selling web design. Okay, you're not just selling website. You, in most cases, and they'll ask you to abangile host website yo. Tikamati hosting, the demand server or computer, imene ma files website yo akalemo. Okay, so mugabanga access my website by internet, but it's timati server, and tikamati server. It's just a computer or a series of computers. Imene muli space imene timaika my website. Kuranti mugabanga access website information is jokera minimum. That's hosting. So space imene timagulisa so. Okay, so that's another income source. And then there's domain. Tikamati domain, timanena no website address. For example, if you go to educate.com, edgicate.com, that's our website at Educate. So that name, educate.com, we had to buy it. And we also sell those. So, for example, ndima gulisa so my domain at .mw. So people come to me and I wanted .mw, and if you tiabanga register, and then they will pay us. Okay? And not only that, in most cases, my company ambili so amakaguta agufuna kuti mwabangile my website, my emails. Mwabangile host my emails. Showing my emails as color a professional. Okay, you probably have seen something like contact@educate.com. All right, instead of having Gmail or Yahoo, tindi email imendi pa domain yatu, imendi dzina latu la company yatu. So that's a professional email. It's also something that you sell. It's not only that, you can also sell backup services. There's just a whole industry. The moment you go into this area of web design, there's just a whole industry and a whole lots of things that you can do that will make you money. So let's talk about how you can become that. All right. So for you to become a web designer now, go to a web designer, maybe you would want to know, okay, how long would it take for me to become a web designer? Because when it comes to learning. Now, you cannot become a web designer without learning something. So you still have to learn something. And we've already discussed learning is becoming super easy. You know, because you can go to YouTube, you'll find my tutorials on web design. You go to Udemy, you buy a course that talks about web design. You go to maybe Coursera, and there's so many other platforms. Just go on Google and search I want to become a web designer. You'll see so many courses talking about how you can design websites. So, step number 1, kuti mukale web designer, is you need to learn. I would highly recommend you don't start by buying a course. Just start by going on YouTube, for example, and then search for how to become a website designer. You see so many different tutorials telling you how you can do that. Komenendo basani formula imene munga gulisen shido kuti mukale web designer mosavuta. Okay? And formula imene iyamba ndi matools amene muzigulisa ntchito kuti mpange design my websites. The number 1 tool that people use to design websites is called WordPress. Okay? WordPress. WordPress ndi content management system imene ntamagulisa ntchito kupanga run my websites osiyana. And that's what I'm going to be using. That's what I'm going to be showing you. Fans ambiri imene mazitenga ngati mashasha odziwa kukoda amadana ndi WordPress. It makes people lazy. No, it makes people make money. That's what it is. Okay, and that's what I use. And there's so many Makampanagua, Guru, Odiamagrisanshito WordPress. And the advantage of using WordPress is good, you don't need to learn how to code. Okay, it's not necessary. Muta ubanga design website. Wibanga host without touching any single code, without touching any HTML, any CSS, any JavaScript, or whatever, you can design a full, really beautiful, really functional website with just that. So WordPress. De chimene mubange mubite pa YouTube, mugabange search WordPress tutorial, okay? Mugabange search ka WordPress course. There's so many of them per YouTube. Others are hours long. Then be serious, okay? Be serious with your life for once. Just be serious and learn that stuff, okay? So learn that stuff. That's the first step. The second step is now you need to build website. You need to actually build websites based on information or content in Mugupunzi. Okay, don't watch as if you're watching Netflix. As you're watching those courses, practice in real time. Practice, extremely important. Okay, and then you are going to find inspiration. I always like to talk about this. You're going to find inspiration. So you're going to find my websites by internet. About Pinterest, the awards. It's written AWWWARDS, so awards.com. Then kuli Dribble, okay, ndi my website osenasiana. Mugabezego inspiration, yeah, my website designs ogongora abo. Then mugabeza try to design them from scratch. Okay, you're gonna try to design those from scratch. Once you're happy, design those kinds of inspiration. Master skill yobanga web design. Mugatero, you're going to look for your first customer. And your first customer will probably be guti mugwena guti mwabangire website ya ulele abaye mubange website ya cheaper. Now I need to tell you the number one thing that will make you a customer as a web designer is portfolio. And not just any portfolio, but a portfolio that anyone can find, a visible portfolio. If you don't have a visible portfolio, you are not going to sell a web design. We know I contact per WhatsApp design my websites my customers, right? So I asked the person, okay, how many people know you're a web designer? And he was very polite enough to say, just my relatives, okay? My relatives and my friends know I do this. Then I said, you have to find a way to get everyone to know, and people you know kuti atakauda my websites to know kuti you are a web designer and you can design websites. So for me, if I want you to design my website, then I'm going to ask you, which websites have you designed? And I don't want to hear kuti ali mukompita mangam. Okay, I want to see kuti my website they're online. So you can design your own websites. Okay, for example, I designed datafordev.com. The company I designed that website. I use that as a portfolio. I designed, this is my website. It makes money, and I designed it. Okay, and I get customers doing that. So you can deploy my website on Nagutindiano. Let's say your own personal website, for example, or a website, or my website, now they're just sample websites, but you've put them online and they're beautiful, they're nice, they have relevant information. And once people know, I think you designs are both, they'll give you a job. So you need to invest in having a portfolio. So even if it means you have to design website at 50,000 kwacha or design a website for free, as long as the design you, the moment people know you've designed that and they will want to associate with you, then that's a win for you, because that design, that portfolio is going to make you money for the rest of your life. As long as it's there online, you can prove it, you can show it. It's going to make you money for the rest of your life. So it's very important. So one be that you do maybe 2 or 3 of those websites for free or for cheap. Okay? Now, once you do that, then you're going to level up. You need to level up. So now you're going to use digital marketing, for example. So you do Facebook ads. You actually meet my companies. I mean, my website. You talk to them. You convince them into, giving you the job to design their websites. You start with 50,000, 100,000, 20,000, and let's say the next 2-3 years. Muzafika pa level nakuti now mugulisa like a web design at $1 million, and people will just be happy to give you that money. I can tell you, kuti mtengo web design has nothing to do with how much skill you have. Okay, it has, maybe I should say, little to do with how much skill you have. It has more to do with the amount of value your client is going to get from the design. Okay, ngati client wanuyo akuona kuti sukuti apezako value ya serious pa web design imeneyoyo, there's a very low probability kuti the client will give you ndalama yambiri. So ine nditopanga design website yoti inuyo, so you can make the same website. Koma ngati client yosakuona po value yambiri on the website kuti akhale nayo, they're not going to give you much money. So the key is going to be now, you're going to find my client or they value a website. If you don't think the website is important to you, we should not design it. I don't care. I don't give a damn. If you feel good, you don't need a website. You don't need a website. Because what happens is you design the website, you host it, you put it there. The client doesn't see the need, it will die. The website will just die, and you will also maybe sakomalizira drama and things like that. So you are going to need to find high quality clients. And when I say high quality clients, I'm talking about my clients. I mean, they will appreciate the value of having a website. And when you find those, after you've designed a few for your friends and your relatives, then those people will give you millions for designing the website. They'll give you millions for hosting the emails. They'll give you millions for hosting the website and things like that. That's my experience of website designing and hosting and things like that. So anyone here, ngati muli ndi computer ka muthabwereka computer ka palipa ku computer kwanu kuli malo ena ake oti pamakhala kuli ma computer kuti muthagwirisa ntchito, you can learn how to design a website, and you can design a website. Just follow through the steps that I've mentioned. Kumano, like I've said, lero ndikandi kupanga workshop where I'm showing you basically designing a website from scratch. All right, and I want you to attend that. So make sure you are following all of the updates. And my updates into mu WhatsApp channel. So I have the link to the WhatsApp channel in the description. Just click that, go to the WhatsApp channel. There would be, for any upcoming workshops, minimum updates, and we'll be having a workshop every single Sunday, unless otherwise, so make sure that you do that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this episode. See you on the next one.